So, speaking up or speaking out. Never mind the attire, the Little Red Riding Hood attire. It's cold, people. So, and I know, people abroad, overseas are like, no, that's not cold. It is. For us here, for me here, it is cold. So, anyway, speaking up. One of the reasons that we have to speak up about injustices, that happen around us, for the voiceless. And in this case, let's look at the children of a marriage that has, either physical abuse or emotional abuse, emotional neglect, financial abuse. The children are the ones who suffer the worst. And they can't speak up for themselves. They don't even know what's going on. And yet they're the ones who suffer the most. When there's that saying, when elephants fight, the grass suffers. We have to speak up for the things that are happening in our homes for the sake of the children. I remember when I think it was even before I had my first child, mom always used to say, Jabu, you have to be ready not just financially for parenting, you have to be ready mentally, um, physically, emotionally. And at that time, I was just like, okay. But after I had my first daughter, I was like, yo, okay, yeah, I see what you mean. It's not just the finances, people. To raise a healthy child, you need to be healthy. You need to be emotionally stable, mentally stable. Financially stable goes without saying, but these are the areas, are the things that we don't usually consider. When a parent is, when there's instability in the home, emotionally, physically, the children suffer. I've seen situations where a couple was married and the children are, very, you can tell when a child is, what's the word? They are holding back. They're not free. And you can tell when a child is very, free and they're enjoying life. And this is not about finances, people. It's not about the finances. It's about, um, excuse me, it's about how how the child feels around their environment. Do they feel safe? Do they feel um, loved? Do they feel wanted? Do they feel accepted? When an environment is not stable, the children, and when I say environment, I'm specifically talking about in a marriage. You can tell from the children. I go back to my story about, where I've seen a couple, a couple are living together and the children are looking very restricted, very unhappy. But when they break up, after some time, of course, and through counseling and whatnot, these children light up, they blossom, you know, you can see life in their eyes. This is because suddenly they're alive. Let's not underestimate the damage we do to children when the home is unstable. When the parents are not at peace. The damage is horrible, guys, on the children. Of course, not to speak of yourself as the person in the marriage, but now we're talking about speaking up for the voiceless. Those children are under your care. They can't speak up for themselves. You have to speak up for them. You have to take a stand for them. Because if you don't, you're robbing them of their future. So let's begin to speak up for the voiceless. Let's not live in this false environment of, you know, things that happen in a marriage should stay in a marriage. Of course, this doesn't mean that you just go around telling everyone, but you do need to speak up. Find people, look for counselors. Let things start changing in that environment. Don't accept the status quo. Yeah. So, yeah, let's begin to speak up for the voiceless. Yeah.